Good afternoon. Let me shift the camera. It is Monday, April 7th. Just got off of work, heading back home. Not a bad Monday. Uh, it was pretty chilly in the morning, and then because it was like what in the 40s or so this morning, and then it's in the 70s right now. It's pretty nice outside. Um, weather's nice. Traffic, whole lot of traffic. Great. Oh, but yeah, Sunday went to cut the grass and everything. Yeah, whenever lawnmowers, uh, because it's been a few months since we cut grass, and now since the weather changed and everything, it's grown on quite a bit. So one of our lawnmowers, when I tried to use it months ago, it wasn't working. So my dad bought a new battery for it, and then he found that was like a blown fuse, and then we went out there to try it out and turned it back on. So that's good. And then cut the grass there. I cut the grass at the place, and then I was able to get back over to get over to the UPS to send my phone in uh, to Apple, see if I can get anything from it. Yeah. Uh, Besides that, typical Sunday. Went to work out. Nothing much. Just oh, but I'm gonna get gas today and then head over to uh, get some groceries for the week. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Go to the post office as well, and then that's pretty much it. Um, unfortunately, this road that I drive to and from work, where they've been having me at, they've just been doing a lot of construction, so that's the only part that sucks right now. It is what it is. But yeah, no. Besides that, nothing much going on. Okay, okay. Just between you and me, no one's been watching any of my videos for the past several weeks, so I hopefully hopefully the one video this doesn't get watched. Okay, okay, okay. Okay, I got to speak on this. So my buddy, he broke up with his girlfriend uh, last week. I was wanting to talk about the day of, but I was like, I just want to risk him. Like I said, no one's watched. I haven't got one view the past several weeks, so no one's watching my videos, right? Um, but yeah, unfortunately, last week my buddy he broke up with his girlfriend. He did. She didn't break up with him. He did. He was the one that made the move into. But he hasn't not. I get that. Like he doesn't want to talk about it, but he something must happen. He's been with her for like 2 years, and I mean she was a really good woman. Very funny. I mean, I felt like they were really close together. Like they clicked. Uh, Something must have happened, which I have an idea why, but obviously it's just speculation until you get it from the source. It's never going to be accurate 100%. But I hope it's not what I think it is, unfortunately. Because yeah, I mean that would be pretty sad. Like I said, I mean they were because when he got his play when it because he had an apartment, and then I think when he hooked up with her, that's when he hooked up with her, and then Man, this traffic's not traffic, but just how they design this road is pretty bad. But yeah, it's he. 'Cause I remember we went to he had an apartment. I remember, we stayed a night out. I think we hanged out there like twice. Really had a really great time. Had a blast there. But when he got his place, I think that's when he hooked up with her, and it was the whole story how he met her and everything like that. They just and they were at that place for like a year. Yeah, I would say yeah, year and a half. Like they were there. They were at that place at his house for some time, but let's just say something happened and he had to move back to his parents, right? Which is understandable with how the economy is right now, but oh, ah, I can't get out. I'm one car right behind. That sucks. Oh well, but no, yeah, it just was one of those things where okay, my thing is so like I said, no one's gonna be watching this video. Hopefully, I'll just make some generic title, right? But here's the thing. I'm trying to find. So my buddy, he was working under, I believe, his brother, cousin. He was working under a family, with family, right? Right, making great money. The thing is, I don't know how long he was with them, several years, right? He was making great money. I mean, really good amount of money. Just he got it was very it started getting very tedious at the very later half. It was just one of those things. He was always tired, and stuff with the work, drama with work, and with them. I remember that was one Christmas. He was supposed to get like a large bonus, and there was some sort of mix up. I don't remember the details, but it was supposed to be a good like bonus, which he never got, and that's was like ooh that was it was a pretty good bonus he was waiting on for. So he decided to start his own company with his cousin, right? Which from that point on, I didn't really hear much like work wise from him after that. Um, but till recently, when Trump got elected and everything, one of our buddies isn't the, doesn't really like Trump, so on Snapchat they were going back and forth on this, I guess argument they were having, and one of the things my buddy said, you know, that because of with Biden, like he the business that he and his cousins started went under due to them not being able to get money from the bank to be able to buy the materials to sell, which that was like that was all new to me. I'm like, oh, that sucks because he was working like I guess the pallet converter industry. I don't know like I said the details, but he would go to like junk yards, whatnot, in states, buy trailers full of them, and then I think he like there's like a number on there and that he did codes or whatever. They had it was a whole system. Somehow, some way they sell them right for a profit. The issue is though, obviously with his cousin or brother, I don't know how long they have the business for, but obviously they had it to where they had the setup and everything for right. But for but for him, it's like he's starting he's starting fresh, right? So you need a lot of money to be able to buy all these like materials and whatnot from other places. So if you can't get the fund, like obviously it's very costly for a startup. So and I don't know how much 10, 20,000, I don't know how much they needed to be able to buy all this, but I guess with how the laws and everything, policies and the bank, whatever information they were looking at, they're like, yeah, we can't loan you any more money, or we can only loan you so much, this and that, and it fell under, which was sad. I mean, and the thing is, I didn't know about that. Like, I know he had to go move in with his parents, and then you know, a lot later, time passed by. That's when that discussion came up. So I don't know the details when they went under and this, this and this and that. But obviously, that was something he didn't discuss with us, right? And I get that. Like that's that was a that was a pretty that was a pretty sad thing. But my thing is, he's been struggling to get a job, right? And I think because his girlfriend got a job at like a Dollar General in our town, right? It was a new Dollar General that opened up, or Dollar General, or Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and she started working there, right? Which is great, But they only have one vehicle, so she gets dropped off by him or his mom. But the thing is, I think he was doing DoorDash, maybe, or Uber Eats, whatever it may be, just to get some money, but not like a stable job, as far as I'm aware, right? But and the thing is, I feel maybe there might have been some tension with her along the lines where it's like, hey, like you were once the provider, now I am the provider, and maybe she didn't, that was something she was signing up for, like, and maybe obviously they worked for some time. It's like, look, I'll get a job, help out, buy stuff I want to buy, but you got to pick up your own weight at some point, and maybe you just never got to pick it up, or maybe you started to try to pick it up, but by that point she just kind of like was getting more upset as weeks and months went by. Um, and so my thing was like, and maybe he knew deep down where that's why he kind of just made the first move, where maybe they were having some arguments behind the scenes. Because like, I mean, she would greet me and my buddy when we were like on Xbox with or on Discord with them. But I feel like a little over time there might have been little arguments here and there. Now, like I said, I could be completely off the mark and been completely something else, right? Um, but that was my thing. It was like, you were the main provider. You try to, you left your job to, start your own company. That fell under, and then you just never got back up, right? Because he got with her when he probably at the end of his apartment versus slash him getting a new place. So she came in the relationship with him with the house. Obviously, he was making enough money to buy wherever they wanted to. Luxury stuff here and there. Things that would bring people enjoyment in life, right? Because it always makes people feel happy once they buy new things. But I feel like once they lost that, and obviously going back to your parent, because I feel like she was really had a good relationship with his family, but that I would say depending on the person can only go so far, and if you don't like I said, pick up your weight and get out there and start from scratch at that point. I mean, she's gonna look for somewhere else to go, right? And obviously, there's some people that in history do or die. They'll stick with them to the very end. But and like I said, depending on what happened behind the scenes, obviously I'm not. I wouldn't be the one to bring that up, right? That's way too like especially like just now, like it's just recent. If it's months down the line, okay, right? But I mean, at that point, it kind of will be like a forgotten thing. Just um, if he wants to open up, that's on him. But yeah, I'm not gonna like pry about that because it's very sensitive stuff. Because for I guess the day he told us, not told, I guess the day he told us, he was wanting day or day after he told us he was wanting to get very tipsy. So it was definitely something he did not want to remember. So I was like, hey, I got you, I got you. Man, this car driving erratic over here. This BMW, chill. But yeah, just it's sad. Hopefully he recovers. Gets back up. And just it's just for him. I know it. You know, I think that was his first relationship, at least in a very long time, right? Well, he got. The funniest story was he, I guess, got on the dating site and whatnot, and he hooked up with this girl. But this girl, I guess, was like sort of like a gold digger type of thing. And what happened? I'm like, I don't have the greatest of memories. If you could probably figure that out, but he eventually hooked up with her friend, which was now his ex girlfriend. But yeah, it was one of those things where you know, because we when we hanged out at his place, we were there with her. We interacted with her multiple times. She was a really cool, down to earth person. So we all got along, but obviously something happened behind the scenes. Like I said, it just sucks because I remember I talked to him years ago about leaving his job, or like maybe I even discussed about just starting his own company. Because like for I mean, like I say, he was making great money. The thing is, he was a lot of times stressing out about it, right? Just getting upset. Just you know, I felt for him at the time. It was like as one of your friends, it's like you don't want them to go through that. It just there's only so much advice you can give them at the time. But yeah, I remember talking with them about the bonus stuff. That was a pretty big thing. I can imagine it was a lot of money. From what I'm aware of, uh, from I said aware from what I remember, it was a lot of money. So yeah, but it was some BS thing though, like him not getting the money from that bonus. It was something with the bank. I forget the details, but it was some BS stuff where she was like, "What?" And yeah, just one thing led to another, and he eventually left and tried to start his own. But my thing, is most like the bank, as a startup and everything, like because he was, he didn't start by himself. It was with his cousin. I think it was his younger cousin, like they're about the same age, maybe. Starting a business, with how what with what type of business they were, you have to have a lot of cash, right? So if that cash runs out, I mean the business falls under, right? And the one thing is, I don't know, like for the business side, I don't know if it was under his name or his cousin, whoever was the CEO, owner, I guess you can say. Um, but yeah, just one thing led to another over the years, and then now recently he broke up with her because he joked about it, which was like, oh, okay. Yeah, he joked about like her cheating on him, which was like, oh, what? It was as far as I'm aware of, it was a joke, but still, it was like, oh, okay. I don't think so, because like she didn't have a vehicle. So unless it was someone like she met at work, but still though, I just like I don't know. I guess maybe we'll eventually learn down the line, but till now, it's just one of those things. Like, yeah, not not uh not the greatest of times for my body there. Yeah, because it's one of those things like you've been with someone so long, and then you live with them. And granted, I mean they weren't married or anything, but it's like still like you were in a relationship for a while, and then you break up. Because I mean that was your other half essentially. How close they were, and just like yeah, that just flame got burnt out. I guess something happened. But yeah, I hope to God he does not watch this video, or no one watches this video. Uh, what am I going to title it? Not something obvious based on what I just talked about. Um, Another Monday. Hmm. That's a very generic title, right? Very. Who would want to watch? Who would want to watch a video called Another Monday, right? Can you imagine this video got views? Oh my god. I'll probably just I'll title it Another Monday. I could have swore I made another video like that title. No, I can't make it Another Monday. Um, huh? What could I title it? A burnt out flame. No, I don't think what happened was a burnt out relationship. Um, Break up. Yeah, that's not. That's not one obvious one. Um, uh, a chilly morning. I guess so. Yeah. A chilly Monday. Okay, I don't think I made a title of that. A chilly Monday. All right, that sounds pretty generic. So I'll leave here till tomorrow. Yeah. So see you. Take care.